Isn't it? It's a cute logo, isn't it? I was telling our producer, Michelle, that I love that. And she's made some really great animations.
Oh, I haven't seen all those.
Oh, you've got to. Come back after the show. We'll take you through all of them. Either way, this is John Slattery. He's from 4 Main Street Restaurant in Huntington. We're finishing up our trifle.
Yeah.
And it looks good already.
All right, so we got the mousse that we made with the peppermint in it in this bag here, and we're gonna put the frosting into this bag. These are like cheating versions of piping bags, those fancy things with the tips.
That was my next question. Why are we putting this in bags?
This is so we can get everything to go exactly where we want it to go as we make it. So as we create the layers, we don't make big sloppy messes.
You know what I like that you've done too? You've turned the bag a little bit inside out, but very inside out, so that you can spill a little bit, but it all goes into the bag and not on the outside of the bag.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's
Great
the ticket.
tip. All right.
We got that. You can
now do we
stand that up?
Stand it up. Do we seal it?
No. Well, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Okay. So now we've got layers and layers and layers. So a trifle is a dish with some kind of cake, usually a pound cake. It's usually rich and full of cream and mousse and all that stuff. So what we've done is we've gone as low fat as possible. The only thing is there was butter in the beginning of this caramel sauce, and this is just to kind of moisten the dish.
Okay.
And then it's got the bourbon in it. And then we've got the pound cake, which we've, not pound cake, but angel food cake, so it's fat-free, which we've sliced up. And we're gonna put a little layer of that in here.
Now, John, just a general question. If there are parents at home thinking about making this and there's kids involved, does all the bourbon and the alcohol bake off?
In that particular dish, the sugar is so much hotter than boiling water. Boiling sugar is so much hotter that, yes, all the alcohol cooked right out of that.
Okay, so we're good. We're safe.
Yeah. If we wanted to make it not for children, we could add a splash more bourbon in right now that the sauce is made, and then it would be a different story altogether.
Okay, yeah, then we would having different advice for people at home.
All right, so now we're gonna moisten the layer of cake that we put in a little bit with this sugar sauce, the bourbon sauce.
That's a good idea too, because a lot of times when you eat a trifle, it gets really doughy at this part and a little too dry for my liking.
Yeah, so the sugar is actually going to protect it from becoming overly wet, and then we're going to put a little layer of our mousse in. So we're just going to cut a tip off the bag. We'll do the mousse first. We're going to do it later.
I'm going to try to follow you, see if I can do it just like you.
So it's showing around the edges. And
Me
then we're
too?
Gonna put, not yet. We're going to put. Then we're going to put another layer of. We're going to put another layer of the angel food cake. And so we're building it so that it kind of looks pretty on the outside is the goal. So we're going to push those to the edges and fill it to the edges.
You know what's nice too? I think we've done this a while ago maybe with you, but you put some fresh fruit in there too.
Oh yeah.
And it also gives it the appearance of health.
Oh.
So you could just like the...
What a neat idea.
Because we were doing the low-fat stuff earlier, this makes it feel just a little bit healthier.
And then I've got some of these spice cookies and I'm just chopping up a little bit so we get some crunch in the middle of the cake as well.
I feel like a trifle is in everything but the kitchen sink kind of.
Well, it depends.
If you want it to be.
Go with a theme so that it kind of all goes together. So you know, like this is very Christmassy with the peppermint and the ginger snaps and a little bourbon to make everything better.
I mean, that's not a bad strategy. Everything's a little bit better with bourbon.
Okay, and then we're going to take your red frosting. You got your tip off the edge there. So we're going to go like at the edge of the bowl so to make it pretty first, right against the edge.
How am I doing?
Good. And then you can kind of go a layer across the squiggle across the middle.
A squiggle?
Yeah. Nice. And now we're just beautiful pink.
Yeah, it's something.
Red. And now we're just going to top it off with the mousse.
This is a great idea, so you don't have to buy the pastry bags.
And then you could take, we could whip some more cream and do a little decorative tips on the top. You know, little points and stuff.
Oh, that's true, John.
But I didn't know how much time we were going to have, so I wanted to just show the layering and all these nice fat-free ingredients to make something. So it's still creamy and luscious and decadent, and we've made it so that you can think about enjoying all those other calories at the same time.
Hey, look, now, is this something you have to refrigerate before you serve it, or is it ready to go?
It's definitely good to let it sit in the fridge for a little bit so that the cake has time to absorb the bourbon and the mousse and the frosting and such.
Now, John, you're always so good with sharing secrets with us. What kind of cookies did you make?
Those are Andrea, my wife, made those for our Christmas party at the restaurant yesterday. Those are spice cookies, just Christmas spice cookies. They've got cardamom and cinnamon and clove.
Cardamom in a cookie?
Oh yeah, we love it.
Is that I didn't know that was the thing. John, this is great.
So there we go. Our little trifle for the day, and
well, there we go.
So thank you so much for having me on today. It was nice to be able to share a treat with everybody at home. And wish you all a Merry Christmas.
And thanks, Joe. This is the last time I see you before the New Year. It's always a pleasure. You've become a friend of the show this year, so we always appreciate having you here. And still ahead on the show,